flavor. That's the big one. I am beyond lucky to still be here talking to you. I am beyond lucky to be blessed with an amazing wife, with 2 beautiful kids. I never thought I deserved that. Today I have everything to live for, everything. And, you know, I can genuinely say today, without it sounding hopefully not conceited, I love myself today. It's nice. It feels great.
The Backstreet Boys took the country by storm with their 1997 self-titled debut album. And by 2001, they had 3 multi-platinum records on their resume. But behind the scenes, the band's resident bad boy, A.J. McLean, was battling addiction.
A.J. McLean's going through some stuff, being treated for, at the moment, 30 days for depression and alcohol abuse, a situation that he's been going through for some time now.
And his fight would continue for the next 19 years. But today, A.J. finally feels like he's back on track, living his best life.
One day at a time.
10 months sober, he's got a brand new podcast, and he's competing on the 29th season of ABC's Dancing with the Stars.
I'm feeling great. To be honest, this is the clearest I've ever been. And because of that, I'm feeling now, like I'm not numbing like I used to. So when it comes to learning dance moves on Dancing with the Stars, it's a little stressful. I'm feeling the stress. Whereas before I would, I'd be stressed, I'd go get loaded. But that's not part of my, world anymore. So I have to feel the stress and then breathe into the uncomfortable. Yeah, man, I mean, I'm floating high naturally. It's nice.
AJ grew up in a middle-class family in southern Florida, where he was raised by his mother and maternal grandparents.
I had a really great, fun childhood. I'm an only child, so self-entertaining was my muse. I would always find a way to entertain whomever was at the house. If it was my extended family, or if it was just my mom and my grandparents, if there was a new song that I loved, or there was a new monologue that I learned, I'd grab a brush and I would just, even if they were watching TV, I'd just step right in front of the TV. I would literally every day, I would just go and perform in front of my family, and I was comfortable. Didn't matter if it was 10 of us or 2 of us. And the rest is history, really.
AJ was only 19 when the Backstreet Boys released their first US album, which sold more than 14 million copies. The breakout quintet was well on their way to becoming the best-selling boy band of all time, but their meteoric rise meant new temptations for AJ.
I was anti-cigarettes, anti-tattoos, anti-drinking, anti-drugs. And look at me now, Ma. No, I was a very late bloomer. But then I kind of fell into that world of low self-esteem and external validation. So, and obviously you are who you hang out with. So I was hanging out with a bunch of the wrong people. And to be accepted, you had to party. So I was introduced to cocaine literally the night that we shot the video for The Cult. It's the first time I ever tried it, because it was a late night shoot. Literally when I showed up on set and I got in the makeup chair, I told everybody. I was like, I'm freaking out, I'm on this, I'm on that. And they're all like, you need to stop. Don't tell the world that you're on drugs right now. And somehow, some way, man, I kept it a secret from everyone for the next at least 18 months, before the boys caught on, before my family caught on, before my real friends caught on. I found a way to really keep it under the rug.
He came to us yesterday, and was the first time that I heard him say, guys, I have a problem and I need to get help.
In July 2001, the Backstreet Boys shocked their fans when they appeared on MTV to announce they were pausing their Black and Blue tour because AJ had entered rehab.
I instantly embraced it, because from the first group meeting, it was like, oh my God, like I'm with my people. Like everything I'm saying, you're saying the same thing. We've all been through it and we don't even know each other. So I felt at home and I felt like a sense of calm. So it was a great first experience.
After rehab, AJ rejoined the band and finished the tour. In the ensuing years, the Backstreet Boys released 5 more albums and toured 9 times. Meanwhile, AJ's struggles continued with 2 more trips to rehab and multiple relapses.
Tour has always been a trigger for me, because I literally, every time I'd go back on the road, I couldn't really put together a good foundation. I wasn't working the program. I wasn't going to meetings. I wasn't doing what's asked of me. So I was literally setting myself up for failure every single time we would go back on the road. I might do the first couple weeks good, but then it was like right back into, if I got a mini bar, I'm gonna clear it out. Tour was always a trigger for me. And it was also an easy way to get away with things away from home. Because for the longest time, I even fooled my wife. The first time I met my wife was in 2008. She was a bartender and a waitress at Saddle Ranch on Sunset. She claimed she didn't know who I was. I call bull. But I'm like, were you living under a rock? Like, this is 2008, like Millennium and Black and Blue, really? So now cut to 2009, I asked her out again. March 22nd, 2009 was our first date. And the cutest thing happened after dinner on our way to walk next door to see a movie. In this moment, we both realized one of our phobias was neither one of us could blow our nose. Grown adults, something as disgusting as mucus, we bonded over, and we literally did like a 1980s slow motion high five on the way out of the restaurant. And it was in that moment, I just got smacked in the face with these butterflies. And I was just like, wait a minute, no, not now. This can't be happening. And we literally have been together ever since that day.
AJ and Rochelle Deanna Caritas were married in December 2011. By 2019, they had 2 beautiful daughters, but that December, another relapse threatened to tear AJ's family apart.
She was already at her wit's end with me. And my ego always told me, you're not going anywhere. You're not going to take the kids from me. She absolutely was ready to do it. And I don't blame her, 100%. If I were her, I would have done it sooner. So literally 9 months ago, I was in Vegas. I went to go see my girl Shania. It was her opening night. And again, it was that before I even got on the plane, I had already mapped out the whole night. I knew where I was going to go get my drug. I knew where I was going to go get drunk. I knew all of it. And I figured, okay, it's one night. As long as I don't go past a certain time and I don't smell like it, I can go have a nice last hurrah and then come back home. My wife won't know. Everything's going to be great and yada, yada. Never, ever works out that way. You know, I never slept. Missed my first 2 flights back home. Reeked of alcohol when I got home. But what really hit me, like, you know, you talk about the awakening. What really was the moment, my youngest daughter said to me that night, "You don't smell like my daddy." And when she said that to me, that was it. Enough said. Like, I was like, ugh, I felt disgusting. Like my 3-year-old is telling me, "You don't smell like my daddy." For me, that was my rock bottom. You know, for years, I thought I definitely had bottoms, plenty of bottoms. You know, I lost count how many bottoms I've had. But my rock bottom, that was it for me. That was my, as we say in the sober world, that was my moment of surrender. That was the moment I dropped to my knees and I said, "God, I cannot do this on my own. I can't. I have tried and I have failed miserably. So, help a brother out.
Squish me. Come on, Larry, squish daddy.
AJ's been clean and sober ever since. And he says the past 10 months have been the hardest he's ever had to work.
I'm very proud of myself. I'm proud of myself because I feel like I know why I'm sober today. And it's got nothing to do with me. My family has saved my life. God has saved my life. That is my higher power today. And my recovery has saved my life. Period. God, recovery, family. Without those three things, I wouldn't be talking to you right now.